Here's something you're not going to hear from most productivity gurus. The richest people in the world aren't spending their mornings doing breathwork and gratitude journals. Don't get me wrong, those things have value. But if you want to actually build wealth, there's a completely different morning routine happening behind closed doors. And we're going to break down exactly what it is right now, because the market conditions in 2026 have made this more important than ever. Let me start with this. Right now, as of today, June 19th, the S&P 500 is sitting at 746.74. The Fed just signaled that higher interest rates are coming, and the wealth gap is widening faster than at any point in the last decade. The people who are winning right now, the ones actually building generational wealth, they're doing something different in those first 2 hours after they wake up. And it's not what you think. First, let's talk about what the millionaire morning routine actually is, because this is where most people get it completely wrong. If you're waking up and checking your phone for notifications, scrolling social media, or jumping straight into your inbox, you've already lost. You've surrendered the most valuable real estate of your entire day, your peak mental energy, to other people's priorities. Here's what's actually happening in the mornings of people who are serious about wealth in 2026. They're conducting what I call a financial pulse check. This isn't about obsessing over every market tick. It's about getting intentional with your money in the first hour of your day. Let's break down what this looks like. The first thing most high net worth individuals do, and I mean within the first 15 minutes of waking up, often before coffee, is they review their cash flow situation for the day. And I'm not talking about checking their bank balance like a regular person. They're looking at three specific things. First, what money is coming in today from their various income streams? Second, what strategic financial decisions need attention? And third, what's happening in the markets that affects their portfolio? Now, with interest rates on the rise, this matters more than ever. Right now, money market accounts are hitting 4.01% APY on average, which is significant. If you have $1 million, that's a difference of about $1,800 a year between choosing a solid money market account and a mediocre one. Multiply that across a portfolio of multiple accounts and assets. And we're talking serious money. The wealthy are noticing this. They're not just leaving cash sitting around, they're optimizing it in real time. So here's the first part of your millionaire morning routine. In the first 30 minutes after waking up, you need to do three things. 1. Check your cash flow dashboard. If you're using apps like YNAB or Monarch Money, pull up your net worth tracker. 2. Scan the major market indices, not to panic trade, but to stay aware. The S&P 500 is up 1.8% this month. The Nasdaq is up 5.6%, but Bitcoin is down 18.2%. Understanding what's moving tells you about market sentiment. 3. Review any upcoming financial decisions or deadlines for the day. This takes maybe 20 minutes if you're focused. It's not about becoming obsessive. It's about being intentional. Now let's move into hour 2, which is where the real wealth building happens. And this is the part people really don't talk about. After you understand your financial pulse, you move into what I call strategic positioning. This is where you're asking yourself, what's one thing I can do right now, today, to improve my financial position? For some people, that's reviewing their investment allocation. With the Fed signaling higher rates are ahead, the relationship between bonds and stocks is shifting. If you're still sitting in the same portfolio allocation you had in 2024, you're probably not positioned optimally for the current environment. Real millionaires spend time here. They're not just buying and forgetting. They're actively thinking about whether their 60-40 portfolio needs adjustment, or whether they should be looking at different asset classes altogether. For others, strategic positioning means working on business revenue. If you're an entrepreneur or run a side business, this second hour is often when the highest leverage work happens. You're not answering emails. Those wait. You're thinking about, what one business development action can I take today that compounds over time? Is it reaching out to a strategic partner? Is it improving your sales process? Is it reviewing your unit economics? Here's a concrete example. Let's say you run a freelance business, and you charge $150 an hour. You could spend your morning responding to client emails. That keeps things running. Or you could spend it developing a productized service or creating a digital offering that doesn't trade time for money. One person I know personally who hit seven figures by age 32 spent his second morning hour every single day for 6 months just improving his sales funnel. Nothing else. That one focus created an entirely new revenue stream. The third critical element of this morning routine, and this is where most people completely miss the boat, is what I call the hidden habit. It's not something you'll see in productivity books. It's financial education and market research. And right now, in June 2026, this is absolutely crucial. The wealthiest investors and entrepreneurs are spending at least 30 minutes every single morning, either in this routine or scattered throughout their day, consuming financial information that's current. Not financial advice from random YouTube videos. I mean actual research. They're reading Morgan Stanley's analysis on the big forces driving markets in 2026. They're understanding emerging trends in their industry. They're reading what JP Morgan is saying about Asia-Pacific institutional investing because it affects global diversification strategy. Why? Because decisions compound over time, and decisions made with better information are consistently better decisions. The difference between someone who understands that the Fed is potentially raising rates and someone who doesn't might result in one person moving some assets to money market accounts at 4.01% APY and the other person leaving money in a checking account earning nothing. Over a decade, with a $500,000 portfolio, that's the difference between $20,050 in extra gains and zero. That's from one piece of information. Now let me give you some real examples from today's market. We're in a fascinating moment right now. The stock market has had volatility following the Fed's recent decisions. Dow is up 4.4% this month. Nasdaq is up 5.6%, but cryptocurrencies are getting hit hard. Bitcoin is down 18.2% just this month. Gold is down 5.9%. What does this tell you? It tells you the market is rotating. Money is moving out of defensive assets and into growth. Understanding this shapes investment decisions. Someone who understands this rotation might ask themselves, should I be reducing my gold position slightly and redeploying into equities? Should I be taking the cryptocurrency volatility as an opportunity or a warning sign? Should I be locking into a CD, or should I wait given that rates are potentially moving higher? These aren't panic questions. These are strategic questions that millionaires ask themselves every single morning. Here's another example. Wealth tech deal activity is projected to grow 27% in 2026 as investors diversify. If you're paying attention to this, you're asking yourself, where is capital flowing? What does this tell me about where opportunities are emerging? Should I be learning more about automated investment platforms? Should I be considering how to diversify my own portfolio differently? The wealthy are already thinking 3 to 6 months ahead based on these signals. So let's get practical. Here's your action plan starting tomorrow morning. When your alarm goes off before you check your phone or open email, you're going to do this. First, hydrate and take 5 minutes to clear your head. Not meditation necessarily, just a reset. Then open your financial dashboard. If you don't have one, set one up today using Monarch Money, Wineabe, or even a simple Google sheet that aggregates your net worth. Review your cash position, your investment allocation, and anything that moved overnight if you're dealing with international assets or crypto. This should take you 10 to 15 minutes. Second, review one piece of current market research or financial news. I'm not saying read 20 articles. Pick one. Use something like the Morgan Stanley Research Report or JP Morgan's Institutional Insights. Spend 10 minutes understanding one major trend that affects your financial life. Ask yourself, how does this change my strategy? Third, identify one strategic action. Just one. If you have a business, what's the highest leverage thing you could do today that doesn't require you to respond to the 100 other requests on your plate? If you're an investor, what's one portfolio decision you've been avoiding that you could address? If you're building passive income, what's one step toward that goal? Write it down. This takes 5 minutes. Fourth, if you have time, spend 15 minutes on financial education. Listen to a relevant podcast, read a chapter from a book on investing or business, watch one quality educational video. The difference between people who know about opportunity cost and people who don't is literally thousands or tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Total time investment, 40 to 50 minutes. That's your complete millionaire morning routine. It's not complicated, it's just intentional. Here's what you need to understand about why this works. Millionaires aren't millionaires because they got lucky once. They're millionaires because they made thousands of slightly better decisions than average people. Better financial decisions, better investment decisions, better business decisions. And those decisions are built on better information and better habits. When you spend the first 2 hours of your day positioning yourself strategically instead of reactively, you're creating an environment where better decisions naturally emerge. The reality of 2026 is that the markets are competitive, interest rates are in flux, and opportunities are moving fast. The people who are going to build real wealth in the next decade are the ones who are paying attention early, staying informed, and making proactive decisions. They're not the ones checking their portfolio at 9 a.m. on a Thursday because they suddenly remembered they had stocks. I want to be really clear about something. This routine isn't about becoming obsessed with money or spending your whole day thinking about wealth. It's the opposite. By being intentional in those first 2 hours, you can actually let go of financial anxiety for the rest of your day. You've checked the pulse, you've made your strategic move, and now you can focus on execution. You're not carrying this low-level stress of not knowing what's happening with your money. You know. So here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning, try this routine. Just one day. See how it feels. See how it changes your mindset. Then the day after that, do it again. Within 2 weeks, this becomes automatic. Within 2 months, it's part of your identity. And within a year, you'll look back and realize that those 50 minutes every morning compounded into significantly better financial outcomes. Before you go, I want to know, which part of this routine are you going to implement first? Are you going to start with the financial pulse check? Are you going to focus on strategic positioning? Are you going to commit to one piece of daily financial education? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if this framework resonates with you, hit that subscribe button because we're dropping content every single week designed to help you think like the wealthy and actually build wealth. Your financial life is determined by the decisions you make, and those decisions are determined by your habits. Change your morning, and you change your financial future. Let's get to work.